You need a 24/7 declassification office, whatever you want to call it. Transparency, truth, whatever, I don't care. Sits in the White House, reports directly to you, and you take incoming from the United States of America. I want JFK. I want the 9/11 files. I want this. I want that. All the FBI, and this is a tool, this is something we didn't cover.
Donald Trump just made the move everyone's been buzzing about. He's officially named Kash Patel as his pick for FBI director. This decision has the mainstream media and the deep state absolutely losing it. And it's not hard to see why. In the clip I'm about to share, you'll get a clear picture of why this announcement has sent shockwaves through the political world. Now, let's hear what McCabe has to say about Patel, and then watch as Patel fires back with an epic response. Check this out.
I want to get your take on what former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe said about you. He targeted you specifically, saying that you would be dangerous. No part of the FBI's mission is safe with Kash Patel in any position of leadership in the FBI, and certainly not in the Deputy Director's job. From Andrew McCabe. Your reaction?
Well, look, my 16 plus years in government service as a public defender, as a national security prosecutor, as a civilian in Joint Special Operations Command, leading President Trump's counterterrorism missions, taking out Baghdadi, returning hostages, serving as a deputy director of national intelligence, and lastly as chief of staff. The only thing I was beholden to was the United States Constitution. And yes, I was a lead investigator where we exposed the Russiagate crimes that Comey, McCabe, Strzok, and Page and so many others committed. And we reported to Congress those oversight matters, and those were taken up through them in the right course to the American people. So if anyone has a complaint about that and questions my unwavering commitment to the Constitution, I'm happy to talk to them about it. I'm especially happy to talk to the media about it. But you can look at my record, and those calling me a danger, let's just ask them for a proof, a piece of evidence that actually shows I've committed any constitutional violations or any ethical quandaries, and I'd love to hear their response to this.
Kash Patel's comments offer a lot to unpack, and he makes some bold points that deserve attention. Patel's call for a 24/7 declassification office is rooted in the idea of transparency. He argues that the current classification system is often misused to hide corruption and shield government officials from accountability. His example of the lovebirds texts between FBI officials Strzok and Page illustrates his point. These texts, which he claims were redacted for over a year before being fully declassified, allegedly showed bias against Trump during the Russia investigation. Patel's frustration is clear. He believes the classification system is being weaponized, not for national security, but to cover up wrongdoing. This idea of a declassification office reporting directly to the president could address transparency concerns, but it also raises questions about how such a system would work in practice without compromising legitimate national security needs. Patel highlights a pattern he sees. Individuals in positions of power allegedly break the rules, face consequences, and then are somehow rewarded. He points to cases like Andrew McCabe, who had his pension reinstated after being fired for alleged misconduct, as an example of this lack of accountability. Patel's view is that without serious repercussions for these actions, the public will lose trust in the system. McCabe's claim that Patel would be dangerous in a leadership role within the FBI drew a sharp response. Patel defends his record, listing his extensive experience in public service and his dedication to the Constitution. He challenges McCabe and others to present evidence of any wrongdoing on his part. This approach flips the narrative, putting the burden of proof on his critics. Patel's frustration with what he perceives as a deep state protecting its own is understandable, especially for those who feel similarly disillusioned with government institutions. His emphasis on declassification and accountability strikes a chord with those seeking transparency. However, it's worth considering how to balance these goals with the need to protect sensitive information and maintain trust in public institutions. What's clear is that Patel isn't backing down. He's making his case, and whether you agree with his approach or not, his arguments tap into larger concerns about government transparency, fairness, and public trust.